Hi, folks. Welcome back to another Beeb 42 episode. I hope you had a good weekend. As always, got Beeb with me. How are you, mate?
Good, buddy. Good to see you again. Another weekend down in the footy, so a week closer to the finals.
That's it. And we'll dive straight into round 16 games where we kicked off Thursday night with the Storm just absolutely demolishing the Roosters 46-0.
Yeah, big scoreline. Big scoreline against the Chookies, which is not a usual thing, right? So, but the Storm just looked the goods, you know. So, Roosters obviously undermanned. Few kids playing. Suwali looked pretty ordinary, I thought, and Sammy Walker got smashed by Olam. So, but Storm just super classy.
Yeah, that's right. And Sammy Walker, he does need to do a little bit of work in the weight room, as you mentioned. But look, future's bright for him. So go on to the early game Friday, where the Warriors went down in a thriller to the Dragons, 18-19.
Yeah, so Dragons got a win. Took a late rally, right? Scoring 3 tries in the final 10 minutes. Corey Norman couldn't kick to save himself until extra time, where he slotted a field goal. So great win, and a great win worth celebrating, boys.
Yeah, and didn't they do that? We'll talk about that later. So then we go into the late game Friday, where the Panthers got home 13-12 over the Eels, and I'd picked the Eels to win that one with a few missing from the Panthers, where Burton kicked a field goal to get them ahead. Moses had a chance to win the game, missed the kick. And Luai had a pretty ordinary looking knee injury that I didn't think there was much in it, but he's missing Origin, so it must be pretty serious.
Yeah, well, tight game. So, but out of that, do you think that the Panthers have got a lot to fear in the Eels? Have the Eels got enough to be able to go to the GF this year? Are they a threat?
I think they're every chance. They're in the top 4, so I think all of those teams are a chance, but the Panthers need their halves back. Absolutely, no doubt about that.
Yeah.
So then we go into the Saturday game, where your head's still thumping from the Dragons game on Friday, and the Eagles just ran in try after try to just smash the hapless Dogs 66-0.
That is correct. Saturday was a dry day after Friday night's beerathon. So yeah, look, Manly. Smashing the Dogs. Tommy Turbo, too much speed, getting the ball to Saab, out on the wing, between the two of them. You know, the Dogs just ordinary. Feel for Trent Barrett. He knows he hasn't got the cattle, and there's nothing he can really do about it, right? So it won't help by missing those players, but they wouldn't have made a big difference, right? So.
No, that's right. And look, sad as it is, I don't think Burton's the absolute key to fixing them next year either. So anyway, they're getting a few troops next year, but we'll see. And then to me, probably the surprise of the round, the Titans absolutely thumped the Raiders 44-6 at the Raiders' home.
Great effort by the Tits down there in chilly Canberra. I think it was 2 degrees. I think they said during the game. So. You would have thought that the boys from the Gold Coast, who've been used to sitting on the beach, might have found that a little bit difficult. But they played really well, the Titans. So great win, keeps you in the hunt for the top 8. And the Raiders, well, they are just woeful, right? So there's something really bad with Canberra, and it might be Ricky Stewart. So has Ricky stayed there too long?
Potentially. It seems to happen from time to time. He's obviously a quality coach, but something is wrong down in the capital. And
he's an itchy guy, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're the first person, commentator-wise, just someone chatting normally, who actually said the Titans played well. Every show I watched was just all about how bad the Raiders were, and I was a bit disappointed that they didn't at least say thanks to the Titans, well played. Anyway, that's just me being a sook. So
you are a sook, yep.
Yep, absolutely. Late game Friday, Knights, to me, upset the Cowboys 38-0. I thought the Cowboys would win that.
I think you'll recall if you look back at last week's tape that I did say that the Knights would give it to the Cowboys. And the primary reason for that was just to stick it to your mum. So I got that one right. And but yeah, look, the Knights will sneak into the top 8 this year, right? And when they sneak into the top 8, are they a team that could, win a couple of games? Absolutely, right? They've got some good talent in that team, right? So if they were to sneak into 7th or 8th, I don't think I'd want to be playing them, especially if they got through the first week of the finals and if you were the loser of Parramatta Penrith and you got belted the week before and then you had to back up against the Knights, it could be a tough draw, right? So
no doubt.
So Knights, great effort, and I see them coming 7th now. That's my bold prediction.
Hard to disagree because with Ponga and Pearce back in that side, if they can both stay healthy, they're a really good side. They started the season well, but apparently this is the first time that they've had Brayley, Pearce, and Ponga all playing together this year. Unbelievable. So then we go to Sunday game where there was another good game. Pretty good result for both of us with the Broncos winning 26-18 because it keeps the Sharks just right on that 8 bubble.
Yeah. Look, always good to see the Sharks lose. Never good to see the Broncos win. But, in the end, I think the Broncos deserve to win that game. And maybe Kevy's a super coach. Maybe you've underrated him, I think.
Yeah, that is certainly not the truth. And we'll move straight on into the last game, which I thought was probably a bit closer than I thought. Rabbits 38, Tigers 22.
Yeah, well, it ended up closer.
True.
But, the Rabbits just smashed them early, right? So it was a bit of an embarrassing game, right? So in the end, I think Dewey had a pretty decent hand in the comeback. But, look, the Rabbits never looked challenged at all during that game. So sadly for the Tigers, they've got nothing.
Yeah. And my top 8 pick is looking very much like they could come second last compared to the Dogs. So, all right, mate. Well, thanks for your thoughts on last week, and we'll talk to you soon about next week's games.
All right, take care. Red V, pardon me.